and Luke manhandles these clankers like just so. God, he just gets on them. And it's
I do
cool to
love
see.
a dead clanker. Dude, I gotta start out. We had almost a pseudo snow day at work because it was really windy and the power went out. And
you had a weather day.
We had a weather almost. I had a few coworkers who I was messaging because we have a backup generator that keeps the Wi-Fi and our systems going, which is like kind of dumb. But like so many people work from home, so I get it. But it also meant so that the people who were on site could technically still get work done for the most part. Like not our actual production floor, but like the product support people, which is the group that I'm a part of. They could technically still like check their email and responses. So they're doing like this stuff in the dark at their desks. Like I'm working from home. I'm just hearing about it like through the grapevine. And like I had a couple people who were like, okay, if it doesn't like come back on in the next like 5 minutes or something, I'm going to go home. As a part of that, my manager started messaging our team who was like, hey, we understand that the power's out. Make sure you like, if you're going to walk around the building, like do the buddy system, like because having the lights out is dangerous and it's winter. So it's dark outside until like 8 a.m. It was a little brutal because he like dangled the carrot of like, hey, our upper management is talking about just sending people home. Not even kidding. As soon as he sent that text message, 5 minutes later, the lights came back on. And I was like, dude, you can't dangle that in front of people.
You had your chance. You had your chance. People need to make more snappy decisions about that. They're like, oh, we're going to wait a little bit. I'm like, nah, man, pull the trigger. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to send everybody home and they get a free day off? Don't be a monster. Send people home.
Yeah. They were out of power for kind of a long time, too. It was like almost an hour. Y'all should have gone home.
Yeah,
you should have gone home
for that long. That's such a long time to stick around.
It's a very long time. How many minutes do you wait?
Less than 10.
I would have said 15. Nice job, dude. Right on.
We've had power go out at work before, and there was like one time we went out, and I looked at my boss and I was like, hey, we don't really have a precedent for this, but like if the power's not on, like, yeah, we can still technically see stuff a little bit, but like, I don't want people lifting in the dark. Can we just leave? And they're like, well, if it comes back on, and I'm like, here's the thing. If it's not back on in like 10 minutes, I'm leaving. It came back on at like 8 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'm so mad.
Damn, that sucks, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was like, you could have just sent us home. Like, why not just send us home? Like, all the soldiers, they were like, yeah, we didn't get to work out today because the lights weren't on, and then we still had to like go to work, so we missed our time. So like, if we don't get to see them in the morning, then like most of our day is already done, because then they're just trying to catch up on their day, which also means our afternoon appointments are usually no shows or cancels.
Yeah, that sucks. So the 10-minute rule, honestly, it's great.
Also, don't keep people in the dark at work. It's a safety hazard, because
it is a safety hazard.
Here's the thing. If I'm staying, I'm tripping on something.
I am about to make a bunch of workers comp. And then you get a concussion and you want to see something special? Wham!
Guys, I need everybody to look away really quick. Plausible deniability, please don't look my direction. But you're going to hear something, and then I need you to like make sure I'm not dead.
I am going to need medical attention in 5, 4, thukunk. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, with that said, welcome to Talk About Tatooine. I'm Andrew.
I'm Nathan.
And we are twin brothers here to bring you what's new in nerddom and give colorful commentary on our favorite subjects. Welcome to our cantina. Grab a drink and settle in as we set course for realities beyond our own.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 136. We took a little bit of a break from the Thanksgiving holiday, so thank you guys all for being patient for that. We're going to do 3 episodes this month, right? 3, Andrew? Yep, I'm getting the thumbs up. Fantastic. We're doing 3 episodes this month because we will be taking some time off for Christmas as well. Today's recording date is December 4th, and this episode will be released on Monday, December 8th. Hit that like and subscribe and join the Silly Goose Brigade.
Doesn't matter if you've been in the fandom for 10 years or 10 seconds, you are all welcome, and we're happy you're here. All right, we wanted to start off with a community highlight. It's a new segment that we're doing. If you guys have any sort of like hobby progress, including especially like Warhammer models of any type, or really any game that you've been working on, feel free to send us photos and a quick blurb on any social media or at our Gmail account, and we'll check those and we'll feature them on the podcast if we like them. Today's submission comes from one of our patrons. He's also, I think we actually even like, it's not retweeting if it's on Instagram, it's something else, but we reshared his post on Instagram as well. And he finished this Sigmar faction terrain, as you can see on screen right now. This illustrious piece is a huge piece of terrain from the Age of Sigmar range of units, and the object source lighting on this honestly is phenomenal.
It really is something. And Andrew, I don't know about you, but does this give you Warcraft 3 vibes?
Oh, big time. It absolutely looks like the Ziggurat.
The Ziggurat from our patron server looks awesome. Love the Warcraft vibes it gives off. Hope you guys enjoy it as well. Make sure you guys hit a like if you guys like this stuff as well, and feel free to share more just like it.
This week's reminder to read a GD book comes from the recent release of Star Wars Sanctuary, a Bad Batch novel. So Nathan, I know you have not read this novel. I am not going to spoil it, but I got a little piece of lore that I think you would be interested in. And I really think it's about weapons. It is about Star Wars weapons. Yay! At the point I was writing this, I had yet to finish this particular story. I have since finished it. One of the non-Batch characters, i.e. not one of the Bad Batch, one of the non-Batch characters at one point in the story grabs one of Wrecker's DC-17M rifles from the armory to put down covering fire for the Bad Batch to suppress some of the Imperials that are chasing them down. The blaster, though, you know what the DC-17M is, correct?
That is the weapon used in the Republic Commando video game.
That is exactly one. It's also the same one we see Wrecker use all the time. All the time. It's his like default weapon. Well, this character, who is I will just say a normal-sized person, the blaster itself is described as being better suited on a starship, and this actually floored me a little bit. I was like, the DC-17M is more of a carbine. It's really short and it's modular, but it's not big. Like that's not a way you would describe it. It's modular in a way that allows it to swap to different attachments in order to change its effectiveness in combat. But that's really why it's favored by the commandos, is because it's small. Like, so this bit of lore floored me, and it was very confusing. No one would describe this rifle as being better suited on a starship because it was putting down so much covering fire.
So that wouldn't necessarily indicate the size of the gun, but maybe the like fire rate and output of the weapon.
That is a good point, and that actually got me thinking something along the same lines. So instead of pointing out that this might be an inconsistency in the canon, which is possible, I decided to go positive. I know, crazy thing for a Star Wars fan. And I imagined that there actually might be different configurations for the DC-17 that we don't know of. Longtime players of the game Republic Commando, i.e. us old folks, know that the only two configurations other than the standard are the sniper configuration and the anti-armor configuration. Like, right? I'm not forgetting anything?
No, because your fourth weapon is a pistol.
And then you can pick up various either droid or Trandoshan weapons as you go through the campaign.
Correct.
Both of these configurations significantly change the size of the carbine into a much larger and much stronger variant with significantly reduced ammo capacity. So the sniper, you get fewer shots, but more damage per shot. Same thing with the explosive. So I thought, what if, in this instance, Wrecker got his hands on a variant that we're not aware of? Given Wrecker's massive size, maybe he has some sort of attachment that turns the otherwise normal rifle into a massive Gatling cannon, like a style of weapon that would actually fit the description given in Sanctuary.
Also, Spotify's the worst for a lot of different reasons. I'm reading the Mistborn series, and I had to wait an extra week for my Spotify hours essentially to refresh so that I could finish the first Mistborn book. So annoyed.
That's so obnoxious, dude. Spotify has to be the worst way to listen to audiobooks. It's just awful because they never give you enough reading credits to finish the whole book.
Literally never, because so many books are more than, what is it? It gives you 8 hours or something. It's really not that many. And audiobooks are long, especially Brandon Sanderson novels. Oh my goodness.
I know most short audiobooks do not come in under 8 hours.
Star Wars has some of the best sci-fi fighting we've seen on the big screen. I mean, Star Wars wasn't really known for its acting, but its lightsaber duels, fantastic. The battle choreography is legendary, and it seems like as time goes on, it only improves. Not to mention the bangers we have seen in shows like Rebels, Ahsoka, The Acolyte, and Mando. Also, I should clarify what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Star Wars Rampages and some of our favorites today. But we're not talking about just one-on-one duels. We're talking about absolute carnage, the rampages, the destruction, the calamity. If you want us to rank the best 1v1s in Star Wars, hit us up in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. How does one define a rampage? These moments really feel like any moment a character could yell, "Leroy Jenkins!" and it would be fitting and apt. Another working definition of rampage could be the literal meaning of rampage as described in Halo. In the multiplayer, a character could reach the illustrious achievement of rampage by, heavy quotation marks here, simply eliminating 20 players in a row. We'll play it fast and loose for the time being.
Easy.
And yeah, this is light work. We'll play it fast and loose for the time being and keep in instances in the Star Wars universe where a single character was severely outnumbered but managed to come out on top through their martial prowess. It's time to go through some of the best Star Wars rampages. First thing first, help us support the podcast by listening to these ads.
Recently, the EU launched an antitrust probe into Meta over the use of AI in WhatsApp. This was widely covered by the media. In fact, more than 100 articles were published on this, and the coverage is mostly coming from the center. I know this because I'm reading it on Ground News, an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place, so you can compare coverage and verify information. You can actually check it out in our link in the description. Let's look close at this story on the Meta antitrust probe. This headline from Euronews emphasizes the different parties at stake and contains a very high factuality rating. That's nifty. While this article from investing.com emphasizes a more targeted approach and uses more sensationalist wording to get their point across while sporting a mixed factuality rating. With Ground News, I can pre-screen articles for how truthful they are and see where my blind spots are without having to research every little thing myself, which is good for some things but impossible to do for every little news stories. Not to mention, every article displays who owns that outlet, because you can tell a lot about an article's bias by looking where the money is coming from. See how a simple word or phrase can change the narrative and easily sway public opinion? I verify the news I hear on the web and want to learn more about it and take a deeper dive. Being an avid Star Wars fan and Warhammer fans, we really enjoy sinking our teeth into particular topics, doing the research, and staying up to date. And now you can too. View the QR code on screen and visit the link in description. Subscribe through our link to get 40% off the Vantage plan. This is the plan that we use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription not only helps our channel, it also supports Ground News as they make the media landscape more transparent.
All right, Andrew. So we are going to be getting into some of the Star Wars Rampages. We're going to be reading these in just from number 321, so leaving our best ones for last. Andrew, would you please start us off with your number 3 Rampage?
All right, coming in at my number 3, I talked about Luke Skywalker's Rampage through the Dark Troopers. This was featured. Oh my God, we put the same thing. So I love
Shush, brother.
This Rampage was particularly great as it was the climax of the second season of The Mandalorian, where they board Moff Gideon's Arquiton's cruiser, and he just mops through these dark troopers, which is incredible because it seems like that Moff Gideon has actually spent an incredible amount of his resources in the disparate factions of the Empire and the shattered Empire that's trying to just limp through, and he just like eliminates them. It would be someone like walking through a US Air Force base and just like hacking off the wings of every single fighter jet. That is the level of destruction we're talking about. Luke Skywalker's rampage through the dark troopers and the look of terror on Moff Gideon's face when he just cuts his way through and he sees his one chance. He's like, I could be the next emperor. I could be the Emperor Reborn. And then Luke Skywalker shows up and he goes, dang it! No! And Luke Skywalker cuts down his whole army in like 3 minutes. And it's some of the best choreography we see in ages. Do you remember how you felt when you saw this scene?
I do. And I will say more on that, because it's also in my top 3, but I will discuss it later.
So, well, you uncovered it.
It was a not safe for work feeling. I'll say that much. As Gene Belcher might say, my pants feel funny.
I remember thinking, or I saw the X-Wing show up and boarded the ship, and I go, okay, I think this is Luke Skywalker. It's a T-65 X-Wing. It doesn't have the upgraded engine nacelles that we see in the sequel trilogy. So I was like, okay, this is an older model of X-Wing. It's the original design. It's got to be Luke Skywalker, right? But it's like, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And so it builds the suspense. It builds the suspense. And you see this robed character walk out of the darkness and his green lightsaber ignites. And I have to imagine that I screamed. Just so excited. My inner child was just like, hooray!
3 cheers for the king. Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hip, hip, hooray.
My hero. And then he just dunks on him. There's no part of that fight that I don't find immensely satisfying.
Indeed. It is quite the rampage. For my number 3 spot, I put General Grievous in Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, specifically when he fights the Jedi in the Acclimator.
I do want to just say, we actually wrote our notes in private. We did not show each other our lists. And you're going to see why like twins are such freaks because there's going to be a lot of similarities between. Go ahead.
I cannot read your notes. I have scrolled down to the point where your notes are not on my screen.
I have done the same for mine, except for you revealed yours when I was scrolled down a little too far as I was reading, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy.
Well, this is going to be a really similar episode. I just love when he fights all those Jedi. It's like one of the true moments that like Star Wars kind of gets into suspense and horror a little bit, because you know these Jedi are going to die. You know some of them are going to live because you have Aayla Secura, Coyote-Mundi, and like maybe one other in there that is like a named Jedi character that you see in episode 3. But the rest of them, you're like, hey, I don't know who these guys are. They're all dead. They all going to die.
They might as well be wearing red shirts because they gonna die.
And it was a work of art. Also, they incorporated clone rotary cannons in this scene, and I am here for it. Those are some of my, like, if I had to cosplay something, I would cosplay the ARC Trooper with a rotary cannon.
That is such a good choice. I actually remember we had a guy in one of our YouTube comments who was like, there's not rotary cannons in Star Wars. And dude, it's like, hey man, I'm going to be honest. You're getting bodied in the comments and you deserve it. Like, obviously be nice to people, but like people were like, wow, You've fallen right into my trap. They're like,
you said something stupid to a Star Wars fan.
They're like, actually, my special interest has activated.
Good thing Star Wars fans are notoriously chill people.
Yeah, we're super chill with no social issues whatsoever. We're always super respectful to everyone we meet. There's definitely no underlying notes of sexism or racism at all in the fandom, and we all treat everyone equally.
And always have.
And always have. Right.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Hello, my name is Judy. I just watched that episode. It's really good. Oh, man.
I know. I watched you watch it.
You watched me watch it? What?
What did he say?
What did he say?
I'm always watching.
I don't like that. Do you remember the name of the Jedi who may have had a dirty blonde?
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Yeah, yes. It's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Yeah. I literally have him and he kills Shaggy and the rest of those unnamed Jedi. That's in my notes.
Like, zoinks, man. Grievous is coming to kill us.
And he did. He got crushed. This is a kid's movie and you're like, oh, he's really dead.
Oh, no. Is there a Shistavanen in this scene?
Which one is that again?
He's the Wolf Man.
Maybe? Is that what
darn.
he is?
I guess I have to watch it again. Yeah, he's the Shistavanen is like a wolf humanoid species. So what I'm trying to say is, canonically and in Legends,
you're a nerd.
That is always true. That is the underlying truth of everything that I'm saying.
Nerd.
But there are werewolves in Star Wars, which isn't even like in the top 10 of stupid Star Wars facts. The number one stupid Star Wars fact is that Luke Skywalker's favorite drink in Legends and canon is hot chocolate. So dumb. Why?
Hey, keep that commentary to yourself. It is hot chocolate season, and I will not have you besmirch one of my favorite holiday drinks, even though it's not a holiday drink, but it's great during this season.
No, because Luke Skywalker is a freak, because he will pour himself a steaming mug of hot chocolate in the middle of the Yavin summer, and he'd be like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. It's like, maybe that's why your Jedi Academy didn't work out, you freak.
No notes. Could not be a better day. Better go kiss my sister while I'm at it.
That Princess Leia person's kind of attractive.
Oh, there I go, being weird again. Andrew, before we
dive, Alabama.
Got him. Before we go too far down that rabbit hole and never recover, can you hit us with your number 2 favorite rampage, please?
Dude, it's General Grievous through the freaking ship, man. It's the same thing. I put number 2 as my number 2 is your number 3.
Did you see my number 2?
I did not.
Phrasing.
I did not see your number 2.
I usually have to pay somebody for that.
I have a sneaking feeling that your number 2 matches my number 1, but I don't know yet. So my number 2, I wrote, again, the same episode where General Grievous absolutely manhandles the Jedi inside of the crashed acclimator, and the clones scream in like special forces of the New Republic, like destroy like a quarter of the droid army on their way in and their way out, and they nearly kill Grievous. Like, he absolutely bodies the Jedi, and they're like, the clones are like, haha, I cast gun. And it almost works.
Magic missile.
Oh, I'm going to have to edit so much of this sound because I am screaming right now. I'm so loud. I can hear it bounce off of my walls, and I'm like, oh, God. You're being too loud. But
oh, my goodness.
There is so much from Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars that truly is amazing. So if you guys are actually looking for where this is, straight up, it's on YouTube. You should go watch it. It released right before episode 3, so it essentially was building up the lore of what was happening in the Clone Wars between episodes 2 and 3. And it taught us that General Grievous was this absolute badass, which is sort of funny because then he just gets kind of clowned on by Kenobi. Like, it's almost funny because as far as like the action in Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars is more intense than the action in the actual Revenge of the Sith. Sans like the final Mustafar duel, like that one's great. I think Genndy would be pretty proud of that if that was in the cartoon as well. But as far as the scale, it's amazing what Gendy's able to do. He actually really captures the scale of the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith, which actually made that more special because like we spent weeks watching these micro series on Cartoon Network. We would stay up and they would show them during like the commercial breaks. So we'd be watching a show and the commercial breaks would start and be like, okay, here it is. Like, it's happening. I remember sitting on our parents' bedroom like a couple times watching their TV because like it was past our bedtime at the time. And we were like, we cannot miss this because YouTube wasn't a thing and people weren't cool and uploading these videos onto YouTube at the time. Now you can actually watch them on Disney Plus. They're in the Legacy Star Wars collection next to the Holiday Special, which I'm like, okay, well the Holiday Special was like back in the 80s and this came out in 2002. So to call it Legacy is a
2003.
Little mean. 2003, thank you.
I posted a link in the Discord so that you can throw it into the episode description if people would like to watch it on YouTube.
Thank you. We'll probably have the links to all of these videos if you guys want to watch them. If you do or don't have Disney Plus, there are those links. You're welcome in advance.
Yeah, you smell that? Good Lord, that's pungent. Smells like another ad break coming up. Greetings, my caffeine queens and kings. As by royal decree, I do bequeath upon my subjects the gift of the magic bean. This glorious potion will bring us to victory. I have ordered the storehouses open and Javi coffee concentrate to be consumed post-haste. For all your coffee needs this season, Javi is for you. Need a last-minute stocking stuffer? Javi has multiple products alongside their flagship coffee concentrates, including protein powders, coffee syrups, collagen syrups, and, well, that's about it, but that covers quite a lot. Tuck into some holiday flavors like s'mores, peppermint mocha, or sugar cookie. Use this code on screen to support us on the podcast, as well as get a discount on your next order. Javi is ultra convenient, ultra versatile, ethically sourced, and has a tremendous variety and an excellent shelf life. Now, my lords and ladies, back to the show.
I actually had so much fun writing that.
I have no problem being a goofball. You should see me play D&D. It's pretty fun.
Hey, you guys, I rolled a nat 20, so you're going to want to tell me who I'm going to actually bonk out of existence with my Warhammer.
Everything I do is revolving around goblin puns, because my character hates goblins. And then I made a goblin these nuts joke, and it all just went downhill from there.
That's because goblins are the scum of Baldur's Gate. It deserve to be exterminated in every way, shape, and form. Yzma, where's my goblin whacking stick?
No. Yzma! You have to put that pitch up just a little bit more.
Yzma!
My spinach puffs!
My spinach puffs!
You'll get there. Okay. Okay, so before we go down a D&D / Emperor's New Groove rabbit hole, we're back from ads. I'm going to talk about my number 2, and it's not my poops. So my number 2 favorite Star Wars Rampage is Maul on the Venator.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely know what you're talking about. That is so good.
That means so you didn't pick that for your number 1, and that's fantastic. Based on your reaction.
We had an entire Patreon episode where we disagreed about literally everything, which doesn't happen a whole lot. We talked about it was a lot of food. So make sure to join our Patreon. But this is going to be, I think, your number 2 and my number 1 are different. So
Okay, fantastic. We didn't just copy each other's lists. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So in this, just those poor clones. In Clone Wars Season 7, Maul gets captured by the Republic after the Battle of Mandalore. Then Order 66 happens and everything goes sideways because Ahsoka is also there. She releases Maul in an effort to create a distraction, and he does some crazy things to those clones. Poor guys. What a great kids show. I'm pretty sure somebody gets cut in half by a door at some point. It's pretty nasty.
So I think the only reason that episode is not like TVMA is because it's implied that he's cut in half. You don't actually see him get cut in half. It's like seeing his top half fall away, sort of like on screen, sort of not, is not actually the same thing as watching him center frame get cut in half and then watching his bloody top half and the remaining of his small intestine pour out from his like legs and abdomen. Like, it's different.
I would like to see that in full rated R on the big screen.
I wouldn't say no.
I would love that, but I really loved this scene just because like Maul is so angry here and you get so little of Maul in the movies that like every time he shows up on screen in Rebels and Clone Wars, it just makes my heart happy. He's such a cool villain and just doesn't get the credit that he deserves. And we actually have an episode about Darth Maul in the lineup. It's going to come out soon-ish. So
Soon-ish,
we're working on it.
Probably in the new year. The thing with Maul is that anytime he's on screen, it is not a wasted moment.
He is menacing. I love it. He's just standing there.
Menacingly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stimmed him.
Shut up. Gosh dang it. You're like, I'm going to tee this up like it's nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh, God.
Returning to base.
Okay, what was your walk me through your emotional state when Maul returned to Star Wars?
I was so excited. When they first find him in the hole and he's like doing his whole like spider leg crab thing, I was like, this is so cool. Had a little bit of like Kazdan Paratus vibes of just the legs being everywhere. And I was like, I'm here for this. I'm here for it. It's weird. But then he kind of gains his sanity back and he's like, okay, I need to like carve out my own portion of the galaxy. And it's not through the governments, but it's through the crime syndicates. And I was here for it.
It was so good. As soon as I like heard his laugh and like Sam Witwer, who oddly enough also voiced in mocap's Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, which is where Kazdan Paratus is from. He voices Darth Maul, and he's like such a big Star Wars fan. He is like the same level of Star Wars fan and like almost like nerd auditor that Henry Cavill is on the show that he does. Like anytime they would talk about something, like Sam Witwer is like, I don't need to research my character. I know everything about him. I wrote half the wiki page. Like he is a top tier nerd, which is a little unfair because he's very handsome. Like he's very handsome. He's so good at his job and he's a Star Wars nerd. Is he the perfect man?
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yep. Perfect man.
Yeah. Actually,
no
100% he is. He's the kind of guy who like he posts something on Instagram and I like want to like jokingly comment, be like, dude, my wife is on here. Can you like relax?
Except I'm over here just like liking old photos from 3 years ago. Just here we go.
Did you like the last 50 posts he made? No. Yes.
Are what those of it? Teeth marks in your bottom lip? Shut up.
He's perfect. He's so good. And like he's like genuinely like such an awesome person. He's kind of in like my top 5 of like dudes I kind of swoon over. That list includes Henry Cavill, David Cornsweet, Michael B. Jordan. I haven't decided who the 5th is yet. Actually, no, it's Diego Luna.
I was going to say, how are you not putting Diego Luna on that list? I was about to call you out.
It's Diego Luna. Yeah, it's 100% Diego Luna.
Or Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal for sure is in the top 10, along with my Duke, Leto
Oscar
Atreides,
Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Thank you. I'm like, what can't I remember
My
his
Duke.
name?
I can't remember his actual name. Not even a fan.
Shut up. Look at this freaking idiot. Hey, sometimes I forget things. Actually, I scored quite high at the Dragon Con Star Wars entrance placement exam. Probably not high enough to actually make it into the contest, though. That would be super fun. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely. We took that. It was an online quiz, wasn't it?
It was an online quiz that the folks over who run the Star Wars Trivia Night over at Dragon Con, they do the hardest Star Wars trivia test probably ever created. And you have to take a test and pass a certain threshold to even be considered for the contest.
Yeah, it's crazy hard.
Yeah, Phrasing. there was a lot of questions, and I think I got an F, and I felt pretty good about it. Like, I think I got around 40 to 50%. And I was like, honestly, that was crazy hard. And I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, absolutely. Andrew, with that, would you share with the folks your number one pick?
Frankly, I'm a little surprised this did not make it on your list. I'm going to be talking about another Skywalker, a sort of Skywalker, and I gotta give it up. To my boy Darth Vader in Rogue One, the best Star Wars movie ever made. Darth Vader hallway scene. From the instant his Sithness enters screen, he ignites his lightsaber. You know everyone in that hallway is dead. Honestly, it's almost giving a Astartes vibes because of how handily he destroys these regular humans. Vader boards the enemy ship. In this case, it's the Profundity, and proceeds to slaughter his way through the entire crew, probably including Admiral Raddus. The ship is lost, and unless the Imperials towed it away, the Profundity itself probably ends up getting caught in Scarif's gravity well and destroyed. We never see it again. Vader leaves no one alive. And you gotta give it up to the guys who acted as the rebel soldiers. Dude, they sent it. They did such a good job acting terrified and screaming. The guy who yells, "Help us!" and the other guy who just yells, "Launch!" Dude, he had one word and he sends it. Oh my gosh. This is by far the best Star Wars Rampage scene, and I will not be dissuaded otherwise. He's so good.
It is absolutely a fantastic scene, and I think for me, that would be an honorable mention. However, my number one is your number three. Which is Luke Skywalker destroying all of the Dark Troopers. And I'm not going to lie, that scene in Rogue One is fantastic. Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie until the Mandalorian movie comes out. So we'll see how that goes. But I just think it had such a great buildup, and Luke manhandles these clankers just so. God, he just gets on them. And it's
cool to love a dead clanker.
Absolutely. And you don't get to see a lot of Luke fighting with the green lightsaber. He just doesn't do that much. He kills a couple of scout troopers, some Gamorreans, some of Jabba's crew, and then he fights with Darth Vader and the Emperor. We don't get to see a lot of action with Luke's green lightsaber. So being able to see that in action was really, really cool, and I love that. And I think it's important to keep in mind the main protagonist of this scene, Daddy Dearest Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin, struggles to fight even one of these things with a Mandalorian pure Beskar spear. And he barely gets him. Good thing we know as Star Wars fans that nothing beats good old lightsaber. Just absolutely bodies these guys.
This has me thinking of, so when Luke Skywalker came back, very famously, he is digitally de-aged, or they do a face replacement. It's not actually Luke Skywalker. I think they had Mark Hamill on set for some reference shots, but they do digitally de-age him. This got the internet kind of in a little bit of an uproar because it's very obvious. It very much looks like a Luke Skywalker who's had maybe a little too much Botox. His forehead doesn't move, and it's only his chin moving. It doesn't really pass the uncanny valley. That did not detract for me personally, but I think it did for a lot of people. And people are like, well, why don't they just recast it? Nathan, what are your thoughts on famous and legendary Star Wars characters being recast?
I have no problem with it. If you get recast because you are too old for a role, that means you have probably been with that franchise and are a veteran of that position. I don't think it's a disrespect for someone new to take your spot, because it's not like tryouts. It's not like, oh, well, I tried out and I got the starting spot because I'm just better than you now. It's like hey, I'm trying to fill your shoes, but we want to keep this as true to the fandom as possible and continue telling your character's stories. I don't think an actor or actress should take offense with somebody stepping into their shoes, unless it's literally just like, oh, somebody took my spot. It's like, nah, man. Like, I think I would have just been, we all would have figured it out. It was a black cloak, green lightsaber, and the guy who plays him looks surprisingly like Luke.
Yeah, he does a good job. They honestly probably could have just kept him as is, and I think people would have been fine for it.
They would have understood. Absolutely.
They would have understood. I will say, I personally really like the fan casting of Sebastian Stan as a Luke Skywalker V2. I'm into it. I am into it. Sebastian Stan does such a good job. Honestly, any movie that he's in, he's probably my favorite character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He does so good. And Sebastian Stan usually does the voicing for his character in the animated Marvel What If and the Marvel Zombies series. So you get like this really good continuity.
Absolutely. All right, with that, we're going to hop into Nerddom News because we're coming up on the 50-minute mark here soon. Andrew, please start us off.
All right, incoming transmission. If you have been following us on Twitch, we are starting to resume our regularly scheduled program with some Arc Raiders. Now, this extraction shooter is the best value for $40 since Helldivers. No exaggeration. Is the era of $60, $70, or $80 AAA games over? Some of the best gaming I've experienced in the last 3 years has cost almost half the cost of these big titles.
This month's giveaway is a special one. We are giving away a copy of Arc Raiders or Steam gift card of equivalent value to one of our patrons. It's a $40 value for only $5 entry fee. Plus, you get access to our lifetime Discord server, exclusive videos, future giveaways, including our lightsaber giveaway. So join now.
The Force Awakens is turning 10 years old this December 18th, and despite our general distaste for the sequels, there were actually some interesting lore bits folks are eager to learn more about. Why is Jakku littered with derelict Star Destroyers? How did Rey's parents even get away from Palpatine's grasp? Why is the Falcon also on Jakku? If you have more questions from The Force Awakens, comment down below and we can hook you up with those sweet tasty lore bits.
If you feel like us and notice that there's very little Star Wars news coming out, you're not wrong. At the time of writing these episode notes, November 30th, the latest news article to be published on StarWars.com themselves was November 10th. So at this point, we, a humble Star Wars podcast, are reporting on more Star Wars news than Star Wars themselves, and more often at this point. So the mouse can... Well, so the mouse can blow me is all I'm saying.
So the mouse can blow me.
I'll do it again.
Get hooked.
Andrew wrote that on me.
You know what I've always said Space Marine needs more of? I've always said it in...
Tentacles.
Damn. Got him. I've always said Space Marine 2 needs more tentacles, and they have delivered. The Tech Marine class has been teased, and it will be the 7th class to come to the game. Tasty.
Wait, brother, I didn't read that, and I didn't know you had tentacles written down. I legitimately was just like, this would be a funny time to say tentacles.
Tentacles? Is it tentacles? Is it tentacles? It's tentacles.
It's gotta be tentacles. Twins are really freaking weird.
Freaks of nature.
The Tech Marine will feature their Omniscient axe, Tarantula turret, and some auto-aim features with his third arm. How tasty. The turrets make me excited. Who wrote these? We do love engineer classes. Team Fortress 2, Deep Rock Galactic, Gears, Battlefront. We like NGs.
This change is coming down the pipeline, and players are greeted with the Reclamation update, featuring some new cosmetics. Tyranids are getting their Gargoyle. We're also getting a new PvE map and hero variants for quite a few weapons, including the Bolt Sniper Rifle, Heavy Bolter, Instigator Bolt Carbine, Heavy Bolt Pistol, Power Fist, and Thunder Hammer.
Huge thanks to all of our patrons, Mike, Isaac, and David, and anybody who joins to get to be a part of that giveaway. You can support our podcast by supporting us on Patreon. Give us just a little bit of money and you guys can join for all of the fun things. Watch our videos on YouTube and interact with them, please. And follow us on social media like the Galactic Empire. We are everywhere. May the Force be with you.